on the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show.
We're on Facebook Live right now. Candy, Mike, and Todd. Hi, I'm waving to the camera, so we just gave you a taste of our stories. You've been texting your votes. Candy, Mike, Todd, 98973 from the 206. I have 11 children, so we must hear Todd's story. That's Darren from Renton. 11 children. Oh, Darren just needs a nap. From the 360, I have to agree, Todd. People who do these kind of things are absolutely crazy. And, of course, I'm talking about putting esports in the Olympics. My vote today is for Mike's story. So there you go. And from the 206, Candy, absolutely. I have to hear about being creative because I feel like I never am when I need to be. Choose Your News scoreboard currently says Todd is at 45. Mike is at 55. I am at 44. We do have a winner today.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's right, Ricky Bobby. Today, Mike Lewis. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is actually one that I think Todd is going to find himself very strongly in agreement with. I'm just guessing, but I don't know.
Okay.
Here we go. So, the question I posed to you was, does a spoonful of sugar help the medicine go down? It turns out that it might, but not as good as a spoonful of spite or anger. A new Harvard study, some researchers, as they put in the story, some big brains got together to decide what is more effective negotiating. Being like nice and conversational and open, or being terse, sort of what we would call the New York style of negotiating, and which is more effective. And they did hundreds of tests on both Craigslist and then bringing people into the laboratory to get them to hash out a negotiation. And I guess I can just ask you, which one do you think worked better?
Oh, see, I look at a lab circumstance
terse.
like that, and I think this is so dependent on with whom you're chatting. I think you have to respond to the
But
person
this
you're
is
negotiating with.
across the board. And remember, they did it also in real terms. Like they sent people out to negotiate for stuff and actually purchase it on Craigslist.
I'm going to guess that the terseness worked better.
Kenny?
I'm going no. It
What do you
has to be. It has to be the finagle, like folksy, nice type of negotiation.
So it turns out, and here's the study, and it's really worth a read because it's surprising and really detailed. This study is called "Communicating with Warmth in a Distributive Negotiations is Surprisingly Counterproductive." What this means essentially is that being nice costs you money. And this is the basic conclusion. Negotiators with a tough and firm communication style achieved better economic outcomes than negotiators with a warm and friendly communication style, both in field experiments and in the laboratory experiments. So here's a sample. What they would do is like someone, you're getting something on Craigslist, and we've all done this. Hey there, I'm looking at that beautiful sugar bowl, which I would love to have to complete my set. It's the last piece I need to complete my set. Similar to a dear relative of mine used to have. We would spend time together, and I'd like looking at this thing all the time, blah, blah, blah. I would love to have it. I don't have much to offer. If you'd be willing, I'll offer you $250 for it. Please let me know.
And that wouldn't work?
Or, hi, I want to buy the sugar bowl from you. I have $250. Do we have a deal? Which one's more effective? The second one was more effective in almost every case.
No.
And they go through with example after example how the terse, because for some reason, I think that, and if you go deep in the study, people on the receiving end feel a little bit, they don't feel like they've bonded with you on the first one. But secondarily, they feel a little bit less manipulated. That like, look, you're making a bottom line deal, and they also had a sense of urgency to it. Like, this is not going to be anything other than a quick cash transaction, and they respond better to that. And that also works with interpersonal negotiations, apparently, according to this thing, that if you're direct and you're brief, you do a better job than long, elaborate, expository stories.
I think that if you are not experienced with trying to create relationships with people in a business sense and in a distributive sense like that, I mean, not really trying to create a relationship, then you can easily come across as cloying or, like you were saying, Michael, manipulative. If you're good at it and you've had some practice at it, and in fact you find genuine joy in getting to know people in a business setting, that can set you up for a very potent moment. I've seen used to incredible effect in business. You wouldn't think it would work because you're negotiating with venture capitalists or, big tech people, but I've seen it work to an incredible degree where people have looked at an offer and actually sat back and said, wow, I am really disappointed. And you would think that this would not land with business people, but you'd be surprised how many people viscerally respond And then you can get into the, wow, I just need to think about this. And that emotional pull of, wait, I thought we were friends, built up over time. If it's delivered the right way, it can be absolutely overpowering, and you'd be surprised how effective it is.
Let's say who the genders are in this study.
They did both genders, or every gender.
I think women like to hear the story and reasoning more, and we would be more apt to give a deal if there was sentimental value.
Apparently, though, on the selling end, you're as likely to sell with the terse as you are with the story.
I'm likely to sell with the highest bidder, personally,
But given the same amount of money, given the same, and who would you pick? People augur toward that, but that's certainly not true 100% of the time.
Are you one step closer to saving a bunch of money on your car tabs? The taxpayers have made Sound Transit a settlement offer. What will Sound Transit say? What will the Supreme Court say? Senator Steve O'Bannon has filed paperwork in the courts in favor of the taxpayers' position. He joins us exclusively next on the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show. Let's get a traffic report now from Tracy Taylor, brought to you by Michael's Subaru of Bellevue.
So I just saw the tweet from Seattle DOT about a